Hi and welcome to another GC Mysteries video, where this time we are taking a look at the notorious killer, Tracie Andrews. Tracie Andrews, I think everyone in the United Kingdom knows that name. Now, she is an English murderer who killed her defenceless fiancé, Lee Raymond Dean Harvey, who was born on the 20th of September 1971. Now, she killed him on the 1st of December 1996. Now, I should just point out that the reason that I have called this video Defenceless Man Killed isn't because he had any physical health issues. He was fit and healthy. The reason is because she stabbed him in the back whilst he was retreating to his car, which therefore made him defenceless. He wasn't expecting it. He couldn't try and stop it. He couldn't do nothing. Now, she was sentenced to life in prison after being found guilty of the murder at her trial in July 1997, and served just a pitiful 14 years before being released from prison. Now, nothing in her, I say nothing, she was volatile, she did get violent, but I think her background has something to do with that. Now, I am not using that as an excuse. There's no excuse just because you've seen it to do it yourself, and there's no excuse to go and kill a man. But she was the middle child of 3 siblings and had several half-siblings. Now, her parents had a volatile relationship, and they separated when she was 6 years old. Now, the separation had a lasting effect on Andrews, and she was deeply scarred by the breakup. Now, that's normal for children that have seen their parents separate. It will always leave a scar. It will always have a lasting effect. So really, that's nothing to, in logical terms with Tracie, that's nothing that gives her an excuse or a part to why. Okay, so Tracie's mother later married another man. Meanwhile, Tracie had a baby daughter at age 21, but her relationship with her then partner lasted barely a year before they separated. Now, she was notably possessive with her partners, not liking them have a life without her, or being able to go out without her being there. So really, you know, I don't get that. Everyone has a life. I mean, You go to work, you do what you have to do, you go home, but that's still a life. And so most relationships for her at that time weren't going to work because, well, she wasn't going to be there all the time, and that's what she wanted, to be there. I don't so much think it was to see what her partners were doing without her there, though. I think that it is the fact that they were scared, she was scared of missing something. But leave your opinions in the comments. Maybe you agree with me, maybe you don't. Now, most who knew Tracie also said that she had a vicious temper and that she was prone to aggressive and explosive displays of anger. So you can see where it is getting bad. Now, she always had aspirations of becoming a model, but originally began working as a barmaid. Now, she began a relationship with local man Lee Harvey in 1994. Lee Harvey being the Lee Harvey that she stabbed to death. But that relationship moved quickly, the pair moving in together just 3 months after they met. Now, their relationship was marked by volatility. Now, we know that she could be volatile, but this time with both Lee and Tracie being possessive and jealous of each other's relations with other men and women. The couple had a very large amount of aggressive arguments, with neighbours even noting that they would shout loudly at each other throughout the day. Several times the couple very publicly broke up, only to get back together again and reconcile sometime later. Now, this was the case for about 2 years, and the couple were often violent towards each other. So, in Tracie's eyes, it's gone from her being volatile, possessive, jealous, violent, to her meeting her male equivalent of that. The only different thing is that Lee actually confided in his mother that Andrews had a noticeable temper. Now, about 2 years or thereabouts after they began that relationship, on the 30th of November 1996, after another day of fierce arguments, Andrews and Harvey went to a local pub for the evening in an attempt to reconcile. Andrews claimed that on their way back to their flat in the Becks Alb Church in Worcestershire during the early hours of the 1st of December 1996. The pair became involved in a road rage incident with two men. She claimed a car had followed her and Lee, and that two men from the car had confronted and attacked them after stopping them on a country lane. Now, this was a load of rubbish that Tracie had in fact invented, and when she was backed into a corner, she admitted that she had invented this. So in reality, Andrews had stabbed Lee over 42 times with a penknife after they had stopped in his car following an argument. Now, you may be thinking, well, a penknife can't do that much damage, but 42 times? You think of a man having 42 holes with blood coming out? I know it's not a nice picture to paint, but that is the realistic picture to paint. Now, Lee's sister later said she knew from the time she was told about the murder that Tracie had killed him. Now, at a press conference on the 3rd of December 1996, Andrews claimed that Lee was killed in a road rage attack, saying that a fat man with staring eyes had stabbed him over 30 times after getting out of a Ford Sierra in which he was a passenger. Over the next 2 weeks, police carried out investigations to track down the murderer of Lee Harvey. But look at it this way. There is a picture in this video of Tracie Andrews, and you can only see her face, but the fat man with the staring eyes, you look at that picture, she's describing a male equivalent of herself. Now, as I've said, she was found guilty and got life with a pitiful minimum term of 14 years, and was released from prison. Now, Tracie Andrews now goes by the names of Jenna Stevens, also known as Jenna Stevens Goldsworthy. Now, Goldsworthy is her married surname. Before that, she was known as Tia Carter, but she is obviously better known by her original name, Tracie Andrews. But I found something interesting when researching this case a bit more, and I found that she was actually let out of jail for the day to go shopping. She went with a friend. Now she was wearing sunglasses and carrying a designer handbag. She caught the bus to York after being released from Ascombe Grange Open Prison. She bought DVDs, clothes, sportswear and beauty products, had a coffee and even ate at Nando's. That, to me, is not a prison term. Murderers, well, this is the only murderer that I know of that was allowed out of prison for the day to go and do what the hell she liked. It's ridiculous. But she also as well as being given a new identity at the taxpayer's expense, she was also given £5,000 worth of cosmetic surgery on the NHS at taxpayers' expense. Now, I've heard of prisoners that have been given new identities, but cosmetic surgery of £5,000 worth, days out where she can go and have Nando's and buy DVDs and clothes and beauty products. It doesn't happen. And the reason it doesn't happen is because when a murderer is found guilty and they are given their sentence, they are put where they should be. They are put behind bars for the whole of the minimum term. So that there just proves that the UK justice system is a joke. Now, it doesn't say if she was accompanied by a prison guard, but she went shopping with a friend and enjoyed lunch. And I can tell you that lunch will also have been on the on the taxpayers' expense, because the prisons will have paid for it. It's ridiculous, it really is. But if you want to learn any more about if you want to learn more about Tracie Andrews, she can try and go with Jenna Stevens as long as she wants. If you want to learn more about the real person behind the fake name Tracie Andrews, just search Tracie Andrews. It's CIE at the end. But you will find a lot of stuff that other murderers have not been given the privilege to do. But she's out. Thank you for watching this Tracie Mysteries video. If you liked it, please like, subscribe and click the notification bell. If you can, support us on Patreon at patreon.com/Tracie Mysteries. See us on Facebook and Twitter, Tracie Mysteries, and bye bye for now.